Hey guys, it's Eric here from Fusion Motorsport. I'm working on the E36 Turbo kit. Last video, Matt gave you a little bit of a rundown, a little general idea of what we're doing. I'll go into a little bit more detail. Electronic side, we've got a Link ECU actually tucked in here. It's a G4X. We've did a little bit of modification to this cover to have the wires poking through for auxiliaries, boost controller, 3D printed a cap, put the USB right here, a little auxiliary fuel fuse panel here for the inline wideband and the boost controller, because that needs some power. Got the boost controller up here because the turbo is going to be top mounted, sitting right here. So we got that here nice and short to the wastegate, which is going to sit down below. We don't have the manifold in right now, it's on the bench. We'll show you that in a minute. The wastegate sits really close to the turbo. It gives it really good boost control. It's also a 45mm wastegate, which is going to be more than enough flow for this setup. Moving over to the throttle body side, like Matt said in the previous video, we have the IAT bung welded into the throttle body, which we also modified with an elbow to give us the perfect angle for the intercooler piping over here. Moving on to fuel. As Matt said, we have the fuel pressure regulator. We made a little bracket, water jet and CNC bent it just to hold it off of an OEM bolt. Keeps it nice and clean. It's up and out of the way. Over here we got the radium fuel rail, and the injectors are 1050cc injector dynamics. We like them because they're very consistent, very high quality. A little bit more money, but it's always worth it. Before any of the bolt-ons went on, we did a head gasket. It's a little bit thicker than factory to lower the compression. It's a 0.98 inch. It's a 98 thou thick head gasket. Lowers it to roughly 9.5, 9.7 to 1 compression, which is a lot better than the 10.5 for boost. Keeps it nice and safe. We will be doing a clutch on this car. It's going to be a Clutch Masters FX350. The car's only target is about 400 wheel horsepower, so it'll be making in the neighborhood of 350 to 400 foot-pounds of torque. That clutch will be more than adequate, and it'll still have good drivability. Moving over to the bench, we have the manifold here. It's still in 2 pieces, but just constructing the Y pipe and then the wastegate provision, it's just a lot easier to build it when it's still modular. We'll be putting that on next, and then once that's on and welded, then we'll be finally welding the 2 halves together, and then it'll be going in for final install. Right beside the manifold we have the turbo for this car. It's a V-band inlet, 101 AR hot-sided 5855G from Pulsar. We like these turbos for budget-friendly builds. This customer was concerned about budget, so not using a high dollar big name brand turbo, but these things perform pretty great and they tend to last a pretty good amount of time. All right guys, that's it for today's video. I'm going to refit this thing up so we can get it welded. Stay tuned for the next one.
Hey guys, we got our GT2 project that I'm getting started on now. Right now I'm in the process of getting the X pipe position. I'm trying to find the best height to keep the exhaust tucked up. That way it doesn't hang below the bumper like a majority of them, and get the sections out to the tips dialed in. This car does have a set of aftermarket turbos as well as a set of aftermarket turbo manifolds that another shop has installed. So we're just building a 3-inch straight pipe exhaust with the X crossover. So right now I just got both the sections off the turbo and the V-band outlet flanges from the turbos welded. That way I could get those pieces in place, and now I'm trying to make the exhaust as symmetrical as possible. not only so it looks good, but so that we have equal flow from both of the turbos. As we go through, I'm gonna connect the first side, the driver's side, to the X-pipe, get the X-pipe mounted. I like to weld that side as well to make sure all my guesstimations on the shrinkage of the welds is right. That way we keep that X-pipe centered with the car. Once I have that dialed in, then I'll build from the passenger side to the inlet side of the X-pipe. And that way I have that section fully welded. I can install it on the car and then work on the section from the outlets of the X-pipe to the tips. And just the way that we do all the cars, I like to have everything welded, hung, finalized before we position the tips. That way, once we do position the tips, we don't weld or lower the stands or make a bracket and then causes it to lop lopsided or to have one of the tips farther in than the other one. So I like to get everything buttoned up 100%, and then from there, add the tips on and get them fit to the bumper.